The video you're about to watch may be disturbing to some viewers and is the conclusion of a high-speed pursuit that my family actually ended up witnessing part of it. So I hope you stick around after this footage so you can listen to my perspective on what transpired that day and my thoughts as to this young individual's choices and recklessness.
Everyone's overhead. Have the lead unit back off a bit.
That's 5. Henry 1 is overhead.
I want to thank 2008 SAP on Instagram for providing me this video and allowing me to share it with all of you in hopes that at least one of you that sees this possibly reconsiders your own driving behaviors. This was a really scary incident, and thankfully it didn't end up much worse than it did. The vehicle that Marcus Burton, who was the 18-year-old who was identified driving the Mustang, hit was a family of 3, parents and a small child. And thankfully they just received minor injuries from this accident. But as you can tell from the video footage, it was one doozy of an accident. He had to have hit him close to 100 miles an hour, and he knocked them from the left lane all the way into the on-ramp for the freeway. The vehicle spun around multiple times, and I can only imagine what was going through that family's minds when that happened. Of course, unfortunately, some injuries can take a while to manifest, even years. Talking to a law enforcement friend of mine, hopefully the family doesn't have any of these injuries that show up later. Hopefully they're going to be all good from this incident, but you never know. Of course, this definitely hits home differently now that I have a 19-month-old upstairs. So we were driving on 101 northbound at the south end of Santa Rosa, just past Todd Road, if you're familiar with the area. If not, Google Maps has that for you. And we were doing around the speed limit, maybe a little under, because there was a lot of traffic on 101 that day. And then all of a sudden, the Mustang flew past everybody, of course, on the right-hand shoulder, doing, I estimate, probably 130 miles an hour at the time, just kicking up debris and definitely no regards for anybody's life that was on the road. And then shortly after that, CHP passed us on the center divide shoulder, chasing after him. And I knew instantly this wasn't going to end well, just because of how fast he was going and the lack of regard for human life. It just was a matter of time before he was going to hit somebody. And sure enough, that's what happened. And so we saw the helicopter up ahead of us and immediately knew what had happened. And so we took the exit right there. We called the Fountain Grove exit, and because we weren't sure if they were going to shut down the freeway or what was going to happen and how bad it was. And so we got off the freeway and went up Old Road Highway, and we could see the damage, and it was brutal, absolutely brutal. I'm amazed that there were no more serious injuries than what has been reported so far, because that was a hit, especially, and you can see in the video. And so it's just really makes you think about what we're doing in our automotive hobby and the behaviors of individuals. I've done videos in the past about calling out sideshows and other idiots just doing incredibly reckless behavior and no regards for human life. And I'm going to continue to use this platform to try and do good things like that and show people this behavior has consequences. I've seen people on Marcus's Instagram, which I'm using his name because he is an adult at this point, and people saying, oh, he's such a good kid and straight A's, always in school and all this stuff. I'm sorry, but having a will run plate covering your license plate and an Instagram page with comments saying like searching for crowds and all this other reckless behavior shows intent and is beyond just enjoying these cars. He is out there doing incredibly stupid behavior that with no regards for anyone's life other than his own, maybe not even his own life. And talking with some friends of mine that are still up in that area, he's been driving like an idiot all over the county for a long time. And apparently he was at an event a couple of nights ago doing burnouts and almost hitting people there. He's been chased by the cops numerous times over the last month. They've been trying to track him down. Finally, they got him. Unfortunately, it's due to this accident. And I just hope that they use him as an example and he gets the maximum sentence for what he did, because he could have killed any number of people that were on the road that day. And there were a lot of people on that road, including myself and my family. And it's disgusting to me to see this type of behavior and carelessness. Now, of course, we've all done stupid stuff in cars before. Look at all the cars that I've got. I mean, the Challenger was my first car. I've had it for 26 years now. I've done stupid stuff in that car. It happens, but not at the level of this stupidity and ignorance. I mean, this behavior is just beyond uncalled for. It's insanely dangerous. You put so many people's lives at risk, and there's definitely criminal intent here. And I think it's also part of this whole new social media environment that we're in, where everybody's clout chasing. Everybody wants to be Insta famous and everything else with social media. And unfortunately, people got hurt. And now Marcus is gonna be doing prison time because of it, trying to do that clout chasing. You see a lot of these big YouTubers doing stupid stuff, and you think it's cool and that you should mimic that behavior, and there are real consequences to this behavior. He's lucky he's just gonna get some jail time, and he wasn't maimed or killed, or neither was the victims of the vehicle that he hit. And it's really unfortunate that we're seeing an increase in this type of behavior. I've done, with the videos like I mentioned before, against the sideshow behavior and people driving like idiots on the road, like the Tesla a couple years ago launching through the air down in LA area. I've had people comment on those like, people don't get hurt as victimless crimes, police should be doing other stuff. Here's a prime example of it not being a victimless crime. There was an innocent family that has had their lives changed because of his stupid behavior, and they could have been killed. Luckily, they weren't. But next time may not be so lucky. So when you get behind the wheel and you think you're gonna go and do insanely stupid behavior out on public roads surrounded by a bunch of innocent people, maybe you take a second, take a breath, and rethink that. Because you don't want to end your life or somebody else's life because of a stupid mistake, because you didn't want to go and spend the extra money to take it to the track and do it in a safe environment. Yes, I understand there aren't as many tracks as there used to be, and they aren't as available as they used to be. And yeah, it can be expensive, but it's a whole lot cheaper than spending years in prison or dead. So I enjoy these cars. I love my high horsepower vehicles just as much as the next guy does. And maybe it's my age speaking and being a parent now, but there's a time and a place for pushing these cars and really using these cars to their capabilities. And it's not on the public roadways where other innocent bystanders could be adversely affected by your poor decision making. So I hope you guys got some positive out of this video. If I can go ahead and reach one person and get them to change their minds on how they behave, then I'm really thankful I did this video. I was debating on whether or not I wanted to include the footage of the actual accident, but I know how the internet works, and if I want to reach a bigger audience in order to help educate people, then that's the type of stuff I need to include. It's an unfortunate world that we live in, but if we can do whatever we can to make it a little better each day, then we're heading in the right direction. So I appreciate you guys sticking around if you made it to this point in the video. And of course, his parents are partly to blame too. And at this age, yeah, he's an adult, but he's still 18, so he's a very young adult. And his parents have failed him at this point on teaching him how to behave properly on public roads. And you can say, well, your parents didn't know that he was driving like an idiot and doing all this stupid stuff. 30 seconds on his Instagram profile can show you the type of person that he is behind the wheel. And if his parents took 2 seconds to go and take a look and pay attention, then potentially this could have been avoided in the first place. So note to the people out there, young people, people my age, older people that are driving like idiots out on the road, think twice about it. And parents, pay closer attention to your kids and what they're doing, and not just with behind the wheel of the car, every aspect of their life, because you really don't want to have to visit your kids in prison or at the cemetery.